We see the name now. We honor one of the great Flyers players, one of the great NHL players. A 20-year career for Jeremy Roenick, which included, of course, 513 goals, 703 assists, 1,216 points, over 20 years on a lot of good teams, 3 of which were during his 3 years here in Philadelphia, including getting to a conference final of Game 7 with the Flyers in 2004, and one of the great characters that there has ever been in Philadelphia sports. Congratulations, Hockey Hall of Famer Jeremy Roenick. JR, how are you, bud?
It is good to be on one of the best radio stations on the planet. That is awesome.
Thanks,
and by the
man.
way, it's Bryce Harper not being prepared for the playoffs. That's what it is.
Well, yeah, we'll see. That was the winning vote. JR, I like how you just go right into the sport. By the way, I'm looking to get rid of Richie as my talk show host. Jeremy, anytime, my partner here, anytime you want to sit alongside, just know. All right,
listen, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Don't worry about it.
So, Jeremy,
thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations. Right, I mean, Hockey Hall of Famer elect. Obviously, the ceremony will be in November, but it's happening. You've got the honor. The distinction is there. Jeremy, how does it feel?
I'm on cloud nine, to really be honest with you. I didn't expect it. I kind of lost some hope that it would happen after 12 years and being bypassed for so long. And you hoped it happened, and this is one of the first years where I really wasn't even expecting it, and then it came, and I was just taken aback, and my emotions just got the better of me, and it's an amazing feeling. It really is to know, how my career went, the great teams I played for, the great teammates I played with, and I get to end my professional sports career, with an induction, which is the best way that an athlete can finish. And I'm really grateful and humbled by it. That's just fantastic.
JR, what was it like waiting since 2012, and why did you feel like you had to wait that long?
It was grueling. I'm not going to lie to you.
Grueling, yeah.
Grueling. And, I knew I had the numbers. I knew I played the game the right way. I know I represented the league the right way. I took care of the fans the right way. I didn't win a Stanley Cup, which, I should have. Best team I was ever on is that 2004 Flyers team, without question, the best team ever. And unfortunately, we had injuries and couldn't withstand Tampa that year in 7 games. But winning. I was up for certain awards during my career, the major awards, and that seemed to be one of the things that kind of kept me off the ballot. But I think it was more kind of my personality, my outspokenness. I think maybe some of the things I said, some of the things I did, being very controversial at times, and I think that rubbed some people in the league or maybe in the Hall of Fame committee the wrong way. That are a little more traditional, that like the squeaky clean image that the NHL likes to have. I think there's a lot of things, and I've learned a lot. There's no question, and I've changed a lot in my lifetime. But it was grueling, and I saw people going in that didn't have any of the stats or careers that I had, and I kind of shook my head, like, what's going on? And that's when you kind of think, this probably won't happen. And then my dad passed in 2022, and every athlete loves to have their parents see the fruits of their labor, right?
Yes.
And my dad didn't get to see that, and that I think that's where I kind of lost my luster for it. And then bang, it happened this year, which just blew me away.
Jeremy, what was the moment like when you found out? I mean, take us inside. Did you know that the call could be coming that day? And was it a phone call? What was that? Yeah. What were those minutes like?
Yeah, no, really. I knew that the Hall of Fame, the guys are announced in June at some point, and I used to watch all the time. So it was on the 25th, which was Tuesday, and I literally was just doing my regular morning routine. I went to the gym, I worked out, I came out, I wasn't expecting anything, I wasn't even thinking of anything. And I'm all sweaty, and I look at my phone, and I see a 416 number, which is Toronto. So I dial it. I dial it back. and it's a recording that says, "Hi, welcome to the National Hockey League Hall of Fame." You know,
Wow.
it says press 2 if you want tickets, press 3 if you want a tour. I'm like, hold on a second, what's going on here?
Press
And I'm
4
like,
for the Hall of Fame.
Don't need tickets.
press 4 for Lanny McDonald to answer. You know, I'm like, I was just so nervous. I was like, all of a sudden got a little, just my hands started sweating, and then about 5 minutes later, I'm sitting in the Starbucks line, just ordered a coffee, and here comes the phone again, 416.
Wow.
And it took me a second, and I felt my stomach kind of get upset, and I answered the phone, and it's Mike Gardner and Lanny McDonald, and I literally just started tearing up before they even said anything, because I knew it was coming. And Lanny says, this is, you've just been inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I literally, it was like Niagara Falls. I couldn't breathe. I said, no way, this isn't happening, no way. And I got to the window. I am in serious tears. The guy has my coffee. I can't grab it. I don't know whether to pay for it. I'm talking to Lanny McDonald, and I'm crying. And I think the barista was kind of like, what, somebody just died in your car or something?
Sure.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So, that's just, and then I stopped the car after I left the window, and I literally screamed at the top of my lungs, I swore, and I said, finally. I said, effing finally. Yes.
Good for you. Jeremy, we're so happy for you. And not just us here. I mean, I know, Flyers fans, Philadelphia sports fans. I mean, prior to hearing you right now, when the news came out a couple of days ago, I mean, we're so happy for you. And Jeremy, obviously part of it is the attachment, we felt to you in your years here. So let's do a little dive into that.
Yeah,
it was only
please.
3 years of 20, but I know they were 3 special and memorable years for you. What did being a Philadelphia Flyer for those 3 years, what did that mean to you?
Well, thank you for asking that question, because this is a very important part of my career. When Chicago drafted me in 1988, they took a chance on me. I spent 9 years there, in my best years, scored 50 goals and 100 points, and my connection with Chicago is unbelievable. But when I went to Philly, I have never got a closer attachment to a fan base like I did there. It was almost like I was made to play in the most passionate hockey city or sports city in the world. Fans that were just the craziest, most passionate, loyal fans that wanted hard work, that wanted loyalty, that wanted blood, sweat, tears.
Yep.
And that's how I played. And it just seemed that we just got along. And everywhere I go, and I'm not kidding, guys, everywhere I go, I see a Philly fan, and I hug them, and I say thank you, and they give me, their thanks, even if it was just 3 years. It was 3 years of, real love, passion, admiration on both sides, and good teams that we had a chance to win. The goal I scored in 2004 against Toronto was my favorite goal of all time, that I got to share with all of Philly, and they still talk about it. So
no question. Well, Jeremy, I want to play that audio actually. Because we have that ready to roll. So for those, and again, if you're just tuning in, Jeremy Roenick with us right now, Hockey Hall of Famer officially in November, but Hall of Fame elect. He's headed there. Got the call this week. Of all the tremendous moments JR had here in Philadelphia, this one was clearly the pinnacle moment for him, and I'd say one of the 3 or 4 best moments this century that the Flyers have had. It was the second round of the 2004 playoffs. Keith Primo had been on fire that playoffs, but in Game 6,
the best of all time,
unbelievable, unbelievable,
the best playoff performance I've ever seen by a player was Keith Primo in that season.
It was so unbelievable. So here it is, Game 6 in Montreal. Flyers up 3-2 in the series, but tied in overtime. Sammy Kapanen had just basically been knocked out. Primo helps get him off the ice with a stick to pull him off the ice, and then here comes JR.
Sundin to the line, still has it, lost it and picked it in, will clear to center, and here's Roenick the other way, 2-on-1 with a body, Roenick with a puck, Roenick the shot, he's gone! He's gone! Jeremy Roenick sends the Flyers to the Eastern Conference Finals! Sudden death magic for JR, and the Flyers move on!
Jeremy, talk to us. Tell us about that moment.
I'm literally almost crying again. It's crazy, the chills. I mean, the chills of that goal, and the call was like one of the best calls of all time. And the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't win a series for 19 years after that.
Oh, I said Montreal. My fault. I said Montreal. Yeah, Toronto. Of course. Yeah.
So, but 19 years, Toronto did not win a playoff round after that. So I called it the JR Jinx after that. So, but that was special. It was a special goal. It was a special moment. And, I just want all Flyer fans to know this, because I get a lot of grief, you like Chicago better. It has nothing to do with liking Chicago better. I had a connection with Philadelphia in 3 years that is unprecedented. And still today, I have a great relationship with them wherever I see them, and my gratitude and my love for them is huge. And I'm just glad that I don't have to pick a jersey at the Hall of Fame, because they pick it for me, because it would be really, really difficult. And that's how much Philly meant to me. Only 3 years there, but if I could go back again, back to 2004, 2005, and Bobby Clark calling me and asking me to lift my no-trade clause for Peter Forsberg, which I did because I thought Peter Forsberg gave Philly a better chance to win than I did. I would go back and say, "Hey, Bob, sorry, go take a cold shower. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Sorry." I would have done that.
So, and Jeremy Roenick with us here. JR, that is fascinating, and that's the end for you here as a player. I want to go back to the beginning, because I believe that connection you've spoken about so many times here in the last few minutes really started with one moment, and it's a moment I'm pretty sure we never saw before. A player hugging Ed Snider. Tell us, Ed Snider, Larry Brown, when he was the coach of the 76ers, when he reported to Ed Snider, was like 5 years younger than Ed Snider, and he'd call him Mr. Snider. Like, everybody called him Mr. Snider. You signed the contract. You give him a big bear hug. Tell us about that.
Oh, I think Mr. Snider was one of the best owners in all of sports. And he was passionate. He loves his team. He loved the game. And I had an instant connection with him. And by the way, listen, if somebody gives you $43 million over a 5-year period, you're going to hug him too. So, let's not beat around the bush. But I was a very passionate guy and very loving. I'm a hugger. I'm a passionate guy, and I felt the love in the room. I felt the appreciation. I appreciated it. And Mr. Snider was just a great man, and I felt that I wanted to show him my appreciation for them bringing me there. And that's what I do. I'm passionate, and I just went for it, and I just hugged him. And I think that started people understanding how happy I was to be there. And somebody said to me, "Aren't you afraid of the sports media here? They're so hard on people. They're so brutal." And I'm like, absolutely. Actually, they should probably be afraid of me, because I'm going to come after them as much as they'll come after me. So, but
Can I just say something, Joe, about that? Al Morganti told us you once had a rule: when you would get mad at a media person, you would go, "That's 2 weeks I don't talk to you."
I did hold a grudge on people that were stupid. That's for sure. Yeah, and I think Al, I didn't talk to for 3 months. Wow. I'm just teasing. I love Al. Al was. This is what I love about Al, is he's a good friend, but he has no problem just telling you how he feels and just saying the obvious. If I played like crap, he would say it. If there was something wrong, he would say it. He was 100% honest with you. No beat around the bush, and he didn't pull any punches. And I really, really honor and appreciate that about Al. So, but that's how I was. I played the game like the Flyers fans rooted for the game, and that's why we got along.
JR, how much faith do you have that Jonesy will get the Flyers turned around?
A lot of faith. I really do. I was so proud of Jonesy when he got that call. Obviously, what he's done in television is one of the best stints in television, especially analyst work. But Jonesy's so smart. He knows the game very well. He's got a great temperament, and he's calm. And he'll study the game, and he loves the game. And I think between him and Danny Briere, they will have this thing turned around. I love that they brought John McLaren. I love that they brought Lombardi in. They brought some other other great people into the mix that will give a good atmosphere and create a good, just a good environment. Because these kids need to know what it's like to put on a Flyer jersey. There's a mystique about putting on that Flyer jersey. You know, in the 70s with the Broad Street Bullies, they were the toughest team. They were the hardest to play against. They were the meanest team and the scariest team. And there has to be some sort of that mystique that comes back a little bit, a team that's hard to play against. I think they lost that a little bit over the last couple of years. Last year was better. Yeah. It's coming. And having these guys around, all those guys in that locker room have to understand what it means when they pull that Flyer jersey over their head, and they have to go out and play like it. And they're gonna create that situation again, I believe.
You know, Jeremy, we could do this all day with you. I mean, literally, we could go 24 straight hours. Unfortunately for us, we've got another show coming up here, and we got to turn the reins over to them shortly. But let me say,
you guys have my number. You guys have my number. You can call me anytime.
And Jeremy, let me give you an invitation. Just if it ever happens for you, if you're in town, if you're ever in town, please tip us off and let us know, because we'd love to get you in studio, whether it's an hour or 4 hours, and just have you connect with all the field phone calls, because that would really be an honor for us to have you with us for an hour or 4 anytime you're in town. Let's look that up sometime.
You can put that in the bank. That will happen. Absolutely.
Thanks, pal. Jeremy, congratulations, man. We'll talk you up the road, and enjoy these first few days in particular, because this is going to be, one of the greatest weeks of your life, obviously. Congratulations, JR.
Yeah, thank you, guys. I really appreciate it, and thanks for letting me connect with everybody in Philadelphia. It means a lot to me. Thanks,
Our
guys.
Immense pleasure.
Thank
There he is,
you,
Hockey
JR.
Hall of Famer, Jeremy Roenick.